South India Shopping Mall, the wedding mantra, sarikotta wedding collection, South India Shopping Mall.
అంటే ఇన్ జనరల్గా తెలుగు బాగానే మాట్లాడతారుగా మీరు?
కొంచెం
కొంచెం,
బట్ విత్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ డిఫికల్టీ. తెలుగులో మాట్లాడడానికి ఇష్టం, యూనో, బట్ రావట్లేదు. ఐ థింక్ ఐ జస్ట్ నీడ్ మోర్ ప్రాక్టీస్. ఐ థింక్ దట్ ఈస్ మై.
రోజు మీరు ఒక అరగంట అయినా తెలుగు మాట్లాడుతుండాలి.
ఐ నో ఐ షుడ్ టేక్ ట్యూషన్స్ అండ్
అట్లీస్ట్ యూ షుడ్ కీప్ ఆన్ సీయింగ్ తెలుగు ఫిల్మ్స్.
ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ,
సంథింగ్.
ఐ విల్.
ఇప్పుడు ఆఫ్టర్ అత్తారింటికి దారేది, వాట్ వాజ్ యువర్ ట్రావెల్ ఇన్ తెలుగు ఫిల్మ్ ఇండస్ట్రీ? హౌ డు యూ లుక్ ఎట్ ఇట్?
It was amazing. I think even though Mirchi was my first film that I did a comeback with, which also people really accepted it really well. But I think Attarintiki Daredi is the one that kind of brought Nadhiya closer to Telugu audiences. Masses. Classes. Everybody.
You became a household
Atta. I very well remember the first time director Trivikram actually came to me with the subject. And when he narrated the script and gave me an idea of my character, I said, I don't know if I really want to do it. I don't know, because you might get stereotyped and I'll get the same kind of roles again and again. So he said, believe me, this Atta will be different from any Attas you've seen so far. I said, you're just saying all these things just to convince me and so that I can play the character. But he was very patient. He waited for me to be convinced to do the character.
Yes.
And then when I said, okay, I'll do it, because he was very keen I play that role. Little did I know that this character would be imprinted in Telugu cinema as. So I'm extremely thankful to him and for him to have this foresight. As to how well I would fit this character.
Yes.
So I have to give it to him. So it's my gratitude towards.
Because why Trivikram told you that this makes a difference. This Atta is different completely.
Right.
Because in all the films, regularly we watch mother-in-law.
Right.
But here you are a paternal aunt.
Right.
In the film.
Right.
So you are from the same family.
Right.
Same DNA.
Yes.
That too against power star Pawan Kalyan.
Yes.
That made all the difference. Of course, your elegance, your majesty, your grace in handling that character really multiplied the dimension of the film.
Oh, thank you.
To be very honest with you.
Thank you.
Because today, after your longest career, you don't need to be flattered at all. Because you have enough credentials in your career.
Yeah.
And your best of the movies in all the languages, in fact.
Right.
Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam and all that.
Yeah. Kannada, I haven't worked in Kannada films, but yes, Tamil, Malayalam and
Tamil, Malayalam. But the curiosity lies there after Attarintiki Daredi. You were not too frequent on Telugu screen. Was there any apparent reason for that?
No, nothing at all. Because after that is when I did Drishyam. So just after Attarintiki Daredi, I was signed for Drishyam, and I did both the Drishyams, 1 and 2. And then I did Na Peru Surya. I did do a few films. It's just that I don't take on many films one after the other. I like to give myself that break before I do another film. It's for me to kind of just come back more energized, come back with a better perspective. And for a woman, it's always hard to kind of balance home and work. So yes. I want to kind of, strike that balance.
Strike the balance.
Yeah, so as much as I can.
Yeah, as much as you can. It directly means that you give a lot of importance and pay attention to your personal life.
Oh yes, very much, because that is where my heart is, honestly. And I think, as I've always said, that cinema is my passion, but it's not my priority. So even when I'm shooting, and even if I finish the shoot by 6 o'clock, I run back home. I just like to be in that space.
You don't while away anywhere?
No. I just rush back home, no matter whatever time the flight might be. It's just my little cocoon, my home.
Your small home.
Yeah.
Small home. Yeah, it's not house.
Yeah,
it's a small home.
It's a home. Yeah, it's a home.
But after being so busy and engrossed in a career that has left you pauseless for few decades. How could you handle that, life that has nothing to do with the cinema for a longer space?
Oh, I think I absolutely enjoyed that phase of my life as well, because I never take my stardom very seriously. For me, this is all a big bonus in my life. What matters to me is all the small little blessings I see every day in my life. The time I can spend with my family, my friends, without carrying the baggage of an actor. I can just sit and say what I want and not being judged by, or anything of that sort. I just like that personal space. So as I said, even my acting career, I've always looked at it as a 9-to-5 job. It's a job.
Okay.
It's not about whether you're a star or this is what is required of you, this is how you behave or anything. For me, it's not all about that. When I'm on the set, that's my job.
You're an actor.
I'm an actor, and that's what I have to do my best.
After once you're off the sets off the screen.
Then I'm not Nadhiya, then I'm Zarina, which is my original name. And so even when I go back, people half the time get confused because some people don't know how to address me, whether they call you Nadhiya or they call you Zarina. Because my friends who are not from cinema, they all know me only as Zarina, and then people in cinema know me only as Nadhiya. So,
but
I'm leading this dual life. Yeah,
you're double role.
In life.
In life. Normally, it is for me, it is a very exciting moment now, because I have interviewed you almost 35 years ago in AVM Studios. I came to, you were shooting some Tamil film,
right?
AVM 8th floor.
Right.
I came there and I interviewed you, and I went and I wrote it. That's our Telugu magazine at the time. It was on the top. It was Jyoti Chitra. The next week I brought it and gave it to you. But you do not know how to read Telugu.
Then I would have made you read it. I would have asked you to read it.
I read it and I explained it in English. Yeah. And you felt so happy for all the content, and you commented one thing, still I remember.
Wow.
You told me that I told you something and you have glorified and glamorized and put it in a right order without any confusion. Even sometimes I miss to tell you completely, you have filled the gap and completed it. For a reader's
I agree. I'm sure I must have said it because sometimes you give interviews and especially when it's print, on today even, with the power of editing, anything can be changed at any moment. But with print, what happens is like you have a one-on-one conversation. And sometimes the tone of the interview can completely change.
Can be.
And it loses its essence and it gets focused on something else. So I think that's what I must have noticed in your writing is that, I must have said something which is probably I meant it from my heart, but I couldn't express it with words. And you probably you got it, and then you kind of put it in words beautifully.
So
thank you.
After that incident, this is the next time, second time I am coming.
So the next will be after another 35 years.
It should not be. And I wanted to know, okay, you told that once you have left that film industry and you went totally.
I took a break, for 15 years.
And completely you're occupied with your family life and home, organizing the home and all that. Did you choose any other special occupation? Or what do you call some avocation that kept you busy and occupied?
Yeah, I think most of them know that I went to America after we got married. My husband was working there. So the first 3 months just took me time to kind of understand how life in America is, and but then my husband thought that since I've been so busy, it would be nice for me to be a little occupied. So he considered whether you would like to do like kind of an associate degree, a 2-year course, which you kind of make new friends and yet you learn something different. And actually I did that. And I did that for 2 years. I worked very hard. I made it to the dean's list, as they say, which is like you graduate among the top 5 or whatever. And I don't think I've worked so hard in my entire school or college life. So that was like a moment of pride because there were not many brown kids in school then, in college. I was among the very few. So I felt very proud that, I could do so well. So those were the things which I did, try to manage home and my studies, and my husband would help me out also because everything had to be done on the computer and you had to print out your papers, which I'm not used to typing. So,
Before.
after work, he would sit and, I would like write it down and he would type it out for me or make a few changes or whatever. And so that was a big help actually, big help. I made some friends in America and, locally Americans, and just understanding their culture. It was a lot of learning and I absolutely enjoyed it.
But another interesting thing also, because you were such a top star hero in those days,
Right.
in Tamil particularly, let alone other languages.
Yeah, because Telugu, I think I did only two or three
one or
films.
two,
Yeah.
very negligible
Very-
number,
yeah,
very
yeah.
negligible. But you were a sought after artist, a superstar in Tamil at the time. But normally when it comes to the point of marriages and getting together, in cinema industry normally happens between a superstar hero and a superstar heroine. It happens naturally in any given language, like Dharmendra Hemamalini.
Right,
You
right.
can take such
Right.
instances. But such things never took place, occurred in your life?
No, because I met my superstar husband before I came into films. So I knew my husband even before I...
Oh, you came into the film industry.
Yes. So I knew him even before I got into the industry.
That is where you could skip the film industry and it's superstar seers.
Yeah.
They are unfortunate people. But coming back to one particular point, see, in the film industry, you will be you will be admired, you will be
Right.
worshipped by the people around you and audiences wherever you go. Your fanfare and people throngs around you. And once you get married and go away from here, you will miss all this. You don't have anything around you. And importantly, you will be 100% earning a lot of money on the top rank, and there will be a flow of money every time, every period, every stage.
Sure.
But all this will not be there in normal family life. How did you manage that, madam?
I actually give a lot of credit to my parents.
Okay.
I've had both working parents who have raised us, I think, with all the right grounding that one is required. So even when I became an actress and a popular one from the very first film, my parents always said that this is not life. I mean, there is more to this.
More to this.
So they always instilled that in us. And since I told you that I met my husband even before I got into film, so I knew at one fine day I'm going to get married to him, and that is going to be my path. And I'll do this for a while and just enjoy the...
Yes, it's like, as you said, it is 9 to 5 job.
It's a 9 to 5 job, and I took it as a hobby. And as I mentioned earlier, I didn't let the stardom get to me, because I think if I would have gotten the stardom get to me, life would have been very different. I took it as a job. I worked hard at whatever, I was offered. I worked with some very good directors, did some great films. Yes, I missed out on many too, because I left this. I was there only for 3 years.
Exactly.
From 85 to 88 is
Very small
very
period.
short time,
Very
very
short
short time. I came like a hurricane and I just
You went away.
Yeah.
It is not hurricane, in fact, a tornado.
Tornado. So, but I think, there's a time for everything, is
Of
what we
course.
believe. And I think that was the time I wanted to settle down. And I'm very happy I took that decision. And then there were time to have kids, and I'm glad I could be with them for a long time as well. And then now when my kids are grown up, now they're working, now I have the time in my hands. My husband also has found, his passion of playing golf and work, so he's balancing that. So I said, why not? Once in a way, if I get some interesting film, but I miss home, so I cannot do back to
Too
back.
much of work.
Too much of work.
And too many films.
I miss home very...
Back-to-back films
Yeah,
all the
no, I
time.
cannot do. And I just think then it gets really
Unless
boring.
and until it excites you.
Yes, but even if it excites me, I would rather take that break and do it rather than doing it back to back.
Okay. Even Jaisudha, in her peak
Right.
prime career also, she used to work for 6 days, and she used to take 3 days gap.
That's fabulous.
Spend at home, and then come back to work after 3 days. Like that, she used to
Fabulous.
maintain her career. That's what exactly. But your
And I
diet.
think what even helped me was not living in the city I'm working. So when I lived in Bombay, so when I would go back to Bombay, I have a very normal life. There is nobody, and those days nobody would recognize a South actor, you
Yes,
know?
yes.
They don't know, not like today. Today I can almost say like I'm a national actor because thanks to all the Telugu cinemas which have been dubbed in Hindi, so they recognize me.
Yes.
So just the other day I was going to watch this film called Oppenheimer, and so there was this young girl who came up to me. She said, "You know, ma'am, I know you. You know, I watch your films, but I'm sorry, I don't know your name." So I said, "Doesn't matter." So she wanted a picture with me, and then I enlightened her with my name, and you know, so people do recognize me now. But I like the fact that I don't live in the city I'm working in.
That is not necessary now.
It is not necessary.
now.
I never really lived like that. I mean, we used to have a home in Chennai, but that was merely because when we were shooting in Chennai, and I would just go back, even if it's 2 days, I would go back to Bombay.
Yes.
So I've always used Bombay as my base, Mumbai as my base.
Okay, after you rose to stardom, in Tamil,
Yes.
within that short span of time.
Right.
It was very miraculous, really. The success you got.
Right.
I still remember those days.
Right.
How people and how magazines spoke and wrote about Nadhiya,
Yeah.
and how crazy it was. All that I remember by letter and spirit even today.
Oh.
I will try a question, madam.
Yeah.
Do you think that you have missed something in the film career any time?
No, not at all.
No. Like imagining some characters, or I could not do this kind of a character.
No. I moved on. You know, no, not at all, because that was one phase of my life. Then I moved on to the second phase of my life. And honestly, I never thought I would ever come back to cinema because, you know, we lived abroad. The practicality of me being able to travel, come here, work, go back, I thought that really wouldn't work. And, you know, those times people never traveled back and forth so much. It's only when the Tamil film M. Kumaran Son of Mahalakshmi came my way was also, you know, I wasn't very sure if I can do it because my children were very young. And then my husband always said that, you know, I think people hadn't got to see you enough on the big screen and they still would like to see you. You should give it a shot and see. So I said, okay, just...
So he encouraged you?
He definitely encouraged me. And I asked my parents as well whether that is the right thing to do. Because of his niceness, he was letting me do it. But, as a daughter, as a wife, as a mother, would that be the right call? Will I be able to manage? You know, all these things come. I mean, with women, we always have our own challenges. So during the children's holidays, I came and I did the film, and I said, okay, if it runs, it runs. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And the funny bit was they told me that, you know, this character dies by the interval. I said, fantastic. That means I don't have to give so many dates.
You don't have to work for the second day.
And that's how I did the film over a holiday. And then again, that film was another super duper hit. Then I would do like a film a year, you know, during my children's holidays. And it's only now that, you know, I have more time in my hands. And of course, as a woman, there's always this challenge of getting older and you don't have much roles written for women of your age.
Exactly.
So that's always an issue. I mean, but within that, I try to, you know,
manage yourself.
I try to pick roles which excite me, which is a good team. I'm excited about being on the set every day with that particular character. So, you know, I find the good things that's been offered.
Normally, now, at least in Telugu, people are always expecting Nadhiya to be cast in a film on par with the hero, like in Attarintik Daredi.
Right.
You know, which will certainly become a viable proposition on business front also. But any such offers to you of late?
No, nothing that I know of. Sometimes I hear of rumors that I'm doing a film with someone, but you know, it's sometimes just rumors and I'm not doing it. So, no, nothing has come my way so far. And it's not about, you know, me being in par with my, the male counterpart or anything of that sort. That is not, for me, it's my character. And, you know, I have my audiences, I have my fans, my well-wishers who come to watch Nadhiya, and I don't want to disappoint them when they come to watch Nadhiya.
Exactly.
That is one of my most important things.
Now, as you said just now, that because of this, you know, globalization and Telugu people touching the Bollywood in such a thunderous way of late, you know, all the people who were not popular at one time are being very easily identified and
Giving them so much opportunities, which I think is great, because so many actors are getting work, and so many actors, so many script writers are getting some fabulous, whether it's films or whether it's the streaming platform, they all have, their moment to shine, which I think is really, really good.
Yes, yes. Now, is there any chance that you are doing in Bollywood films also? Nowadays, nothing as such.
No, nothing really.
Okay.
South has always been very special to me, and even when my younger days, when I was offered Hindi, I really did do Hindi at that point, because the kind of respect, the kind of work I was getting in the South.
Comfort.
The comfort. People understood the kind of roles I did. People understood the kind of work I did, the kind of films. I was not tempted to go to Bollywood. I was very happy.
Of course.
But I remember those times when, I used to talk to people, or, people said that, oh, you work in films? Where, which films? So I said, no, I work mainly in the South. Oh, is it? And today, it's completely different. If I say that I'm working in the South and I'm doing a Telugu film, or, oh, really? With whom? Who? It's completely changed.
Completely changed,
So I'm glad I stuck, here in the South, and I was happy to contribute a lot to the South Indian cinema.
Yes, you were that day also, this LGM, that day, Sakshi ji also has come that day. You were telling, especially you mentioned it, that you have really thanked all the southern languages where you are getting still.
No, I'm extremely grateful, because, for a woman of my age, there are not many characters that's written for you. Even if there are, there might be like once in a way something interesting that comes your way. But besides that, even for an audience to have me so close to their heart after so many years, as you just mentioned that, I haven't done a film in so many years, or, I've taken a long gap or whatever. But still for the audiences to keep that place for me, I think is huge. It's a bonus. I mean, it is people's blessing, Upar Wala's blessing. I don't know whose blessings it is. I can only be thankful.
And now that, because of course, whether you like it or not, you are still a popular star all across South. Is there any such possibility that you encourage your children into the film industry? No such.
Not really. I don't think my children have really shown any interest. If they show some interest, maybe, but otherwise, I think they're both working girls, and they've studied abroad. They kind of know the lifestyle abroad, and they're happy doing what they're doing. So I don't think anyone has shown any interest so far. You never know,
Of course. But after Attarinti Daredi and after the few films that you have done in Telugu,
right?
Still people are thinking about you, and they are contemplating casting you in the films. Is there any? Do you regularly talk to anybody here as friendship goes?
No, I don't regularly talk to anybody. Yes, I was very much in touch with, the actors. So, for example, if I see their work somewhere, then I would message them, or I would call them, whether, whether it is Prabhas, or whether it is director Trivikram, or whether it is Kortala Shiva. The people I've worked with, and people we worked with me, whether it's Charan, am I missing out someone? Yeah, so, whether it's Bunny, or who these people. So, it's not like I'm constantly in touch with anybody.
Yeah, occasionally.
Occasionally, there could be like some film I've seen, or some article I have read of theirs, and I was really touched. So I would why not? I mean, I'll just shoot a message saying that it was so lovely to see you, or something like that.
Because they respect you so much as a member of the family.